some weights. Oh, perfect. Okay. So we don't need your weights or your block to start off with. Just pop them down and to the side, and we are going to start off on the back of your mats. So I hope you enjoyed last week. I had some really good feedback from my other classes about the towel class. They said they felt it was really good for the posture and felt really sort of open afterwards. I hope nobody had too sore shoulders. Maybe you could tell me at the end. So we're going to think about, it is springtime today, although not as warm today as it's been. So this kind of class is a little bit of a homage to spring. So thinking about spring flowers opening up, but also think about just getting a bit of a spring in your step as well. So we're going to think about how we can do that. So in the winter, you know, we're kind of all hunched forward, a bit cold, everything's rigid. So we want to think now about being nice and loose, relaxed, and spring-like. So we will start at our feet because that's where the spring in our step comes from. So we're going to just lift your toes and try and spread your toes as widely as you can. So I'm going to do the same with my fingers. So I just want us to think about creating space between each of my toes, between each of my fingers. And then we're just going to do the opposite. So we're going to scrunch your toes and scrunch your fingers. And then we're going to open them. And now we can maybe open up through the front of the body as well. Lift your toes, spread your fingers wide, reaching those arms out. And then as you breathe out, we can just curl ourselves into a little ball. So breathing in, open like a little flower opening up here. And then exhale, toes down, fingers down. So we're just doing that a few times, breathing in, stretching wide, and then exhale. So we're using our breath as well to just help us. And we'll do that one more time. We're going to finish in that lovely big stretch, and then just press your palms out to the walls either side of you, and imagine you're pulling your palms down the wall all the way to the floor, and then just have a little relax there. So lift your toes this time. We're not stretching the fingers, but focusing on the toes. We're going to start with your little toe and do that little Mexican wave with your feet. So you're just starting on the outside edge of your feet and then coming through the toes to the big toe. You're just getting that lovely articulation through your feet. So when we think about walking and gait, the movement has to come from our feet. And if our toes are rigid, it's really hard for us to get that spring off. The same if we haven't got that arches underneath our feet. So doing little exercises like this can really help you maintain that strength in your toes, maintain the arch, the shape of your foot, which helps to propel you forward. Okay, just do that one more time. And then just keep your knees nice and soft, lengthened through that tailbone. And this time we're just going to do little knee bends. So just down and up. So when, obviously the knees are bending, but what's happening at your ankle as well. So you can see we're just mobilizing that ankle joint as well. So you need to be able to have good ankle mobility, good dorsiflexion at the ankles in order, again, to be able to walk nice and smoothly with a little spring in your step. So we're not shuffling or walking with a flat foot. So we could take 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, lifting your back heel, maybe getting a little bit more movement now through that front leg. And then we can swap, and again, just forward or down and up. So as you do this, it's not, we are in control, but just think about getting a little bit of a spring in those knees. And then back to double legs. And maybe now you can bend those knees a little bit more if your body allows you. So it's not really a squat, you're taking your knees forward. If you very tighten your calves, your heels will most likely come up a little bit. And then we can just start to swing those arms as well. So as we do this, so not really bouncing on the joints, but just encouraging a little bit of springiness. So I like to think, remember those slinky toys that we had as kids, that you could go down the stairs that were like springs. So just try and sort of channel your inner slinky toy in your legs. So we'll do 2 more. And then just relax, have a little shake out there, have a nice big stretch up, and then just maybe have a twist to one side and the other, and then bring those arms down. So we're taking that sort of sense of slinkiness of movement and bringing it to your pelvis now. So just letting your pelvis roll side to side, round and round, both ways. So just encouraging a little bit of mobility there through the back of your legs, through your pelvis. So not just circles, but really try and tuck your pelvis under so you're getting a little bit of movement for the lower back as well. So just keep changing direction and then coming back to the center. And then taking your hands onto your ribs, and we're going to just go into a little rib slide. So moving your ribs across the top of your pelvis. Let your legs shift a little bit. Sometimes I say keep your legs still, but let your legs just flow side to side. And then you can maybe just let those arms go now. So we're getting that little sense of flow and mobility through the upper body as well. So do you remember a few weeks ago we did our lovely sort of Tai Chi warm up? So again, just channeling that sort of sense of fluidity, of flow. Can anybody break dance? I could never do that. And then let's just go into our lovely rotations here now. So nice and fluid again through the upper body. So that sense of strength, but also of relaxation. And just bending one knee, bending the other knee. Letting your arms just go. So really let those arms just sort of tap against the sides of your body as you swing side to side. And then we'll come back to the center and then bring those legs a little bit closer. We're going up to your shoulders now, just giving those shoulders a nice big roll. So really draw them up to your ears. Big breath in and then let them go. And again, big breath in and let them go. A couple more times. And once more. And just let it go. And then swinging those arms now forwards and backwards. So just up towards the ceiling and then back down. Try not to overstretch. So you don't want to go all the way back. You just want to take those arms up. So maybe you could just see your fingers and hands. So just getting a little bit of warmth through your body. And then we can start to add on that little knee bend as well as we do that. So as you come down, just bringing your arms down and back up. So we encourage that nice fluidity through the upper body, through the arms, but a little bit of a spring there with the legs. So as you come up, really press your feet into the floor and feel that you're springing up towards the ceiling. We'll do that 2 more times. Last one, we're going to keep the arms up and then just go slow it down again. Just go into our nice vertical bow and arrow. So pulling down with one arm, pushing up with the other, and just encouraging that space through the sides of your body. We'll do that once more each way, and then just coming over to one side, having a little stretch. Whichever arm you've taken over, you're going to take that leg behind you, and then we're just going to encourage that breath into the ribs here. So place your free hand or your bottom hand on your ribs, take a couple of nice big breaths into your rib cage, and really imagine your ribs expanding as you breathe in, and then just softening as you breathe out. Let's do that to the other side. So have a little stretch up and over, and then step your other foot behind. Relax through your shoulders. That's really important. So keep that space between your ear and your shoulder. Free hand on your ribs. And breathing into the sides of your ribs here. One more time. And then coming all the way up. Well done. Okay, coming to the back of your mats. I think you know what's coming. We're going to roll down. We're going to come all the way onto our tummies. If you can't come onto your tummy, just come onto your knees. And if it doesn't work for you going down and up, if it affects your blood pressure, then I just want you to do a half roll down and then roll back up, or you can choose to do something else instead. Okay, so chin to chest, we're going to roll down towards the floor. You're going to then bend your knees, walk those hands forward so you come into your plank. Option here to just drop onto your knees and stay there and then go back, or you can lower yourself all the way down onto your tummy and then come back up the way you came. So back up onto your knees, lift your knees, bend them, walk your hands all the way back to your feet and rolling all the way up. We're going to try and do that on one leg now. So if you lift, it doesn't matter which one, because we're going to try both. If you know that's not going to work for you, please just keep your feet down, both feet down. So with standing on one leg, try and bend your knee as much as you can. That's hence why we did all those little knee bends first. Keep your bottom down fairly low. Walk yourself forward, still keeping one leg off the floor. See if you can lower yourself onto your tummy with that leg lifted. So you're keeping that leg lifted all the time. Pushing back up onto hands and knees. Lifting your other knee off the floor. Walking back, staying nice and low. And then I cheated there, I've got a sofa next to me. Come all the way up to standing. All right, let's switch sides. So same on the other side. So take it easy. Try and bend your knee forward Hands come on the floor, walking forwards, either just onto your knee, or if you can, come all the way onto your tummies. And then try to come back up the same way. Oh, well done, stand all the way up. Brilliant, okay, that's a good warm up. So obviously we only did it once each side, but it's quite a challenging thing to do. So I'd recommend doing those a few more times if you're, if you've just got 5 minutes getting up and down off the floor. Okay, so we should be nice and warm now. That's the bonus of doing that. So we are going to take let's go weights first. And we're going to do some work on your gait, but you just have some weights to help us, I suppose. So your gait is all about your walking. So thinking about that spring in our step. So you're just going to take a step forwards and a step back. And when you step forwards, we're landing heel, ball of your foot and your toe. And then when you push back, you're just simply reversing the direction. So I'm just stepping forward with the same leg at the moment. And then let's just add on opposite arm. So you get a little bit of more natural movement through your arms as you step forward and back. So obviously we're doing it a little bit slower than you would normally. So we now want to start to encourage a little bit of rotation through the shoulders. So just rotating your chest from one side to the other, but we're trying to keep your head just facing forwards. Next time you step forwards with your foot, we're just going to stay there. You're going to shift your weight onto that foot and then bring your arms up in front of you. From here, taking your arms out to the side and come all the way down. So weights primarily on your front foot. So little semicircles, lift up, out to the side and down. And one more time, in front, out to the side and down. Okay, from here, so if it's your left foot forward, bring your right arm out in front of you. And then you're going to do a semicircle there, arm down by your side and back. So this time you're turning your head. So just having a little bit of added rotation. And we do that one more time. And then come back down, step back with your feet together. Remember which foot was forward, roll your shoulders. Just allow the weights to drop your shoulders down towards the floor. Okay, so let's do that with the other side. So you can heel toe or heel ball of your foot and toe, and then just bringing that opposite arm forward. So just allowing a little bit of a natural swing through the arms, and then encourage your rotation through your shoulders as well. So if you notice that you're landing with a flat foot, really encourage and exaggerate that movement so you land through your heel. And then next time you step forward with that foot, we're just going to stay here. So weights planted through your front foot, bringing your arms up in front, take them out to the side and down. So just little semicircles forward, out to the side and back down. One more time and back down. So single arm this time. So it's your opposite arm. So if it's your right leg, it's your left arm. And this time we're tracking the ball, or tracking, I've got a ball, a little weighted ball, tracking your hand with your eyes. Last time all the way through, and then come back and just roll those shoulders. So this time we're going to step back. So with that time we were going forwards, this time we're going to step back. So we're going to, when we step back, you land ball of your foot and then roll through the arch and your heel, and then step all the way forwards. So instead of just a backward step, we'll go forwards and then backwards. So toe, ball of your foot, heel. So just be conscious again of trying to roll through your feet and landing with the heel as you go forwards, landing with the toes, and then ball of your feet and heel as you go backwards. So then again, we just add the opposite arm, opposite leg. I always have to think about that. So a nice bit of more natural movement there through the upper body, and then try and get that nice rotation as well. So next time you step forward with that leg, again, we're going to stay here. This time we're going to bend your knees so you're in this split squat position, and we're just going to lower down and back up, lower down and up. 2 more times. And we're going to stay down if that works for your knees. If not, straighten your legs, bring your arms up in front of you. Let's take them out to the side and then down. So we're just doing those little wobbly semicircles out in front, out to the side and down. My back leg is on fire. Up, out to the side and down. Oh, that's hard work, isn't it? Okay, let's do that on the other side. So other leg, we start step backwards and then forwards. So backwards, ball of the foot, toe, heel, forwards, heel, ball of the foot, toe. And really just notice, so pay attention to that step. Once you've got your movement, then you can add in your arms as well. So little bit of forwards and backwards. I have to, there we go, reset myself when I change direction. And then encourage that rotation through the upper body. So arms are going straight forward, but the chest and the shoulders are moving side to side. Okay, next time you step forward with that leg, we're just going to stay here. Lift your back and heel, bend your knees, so down into your little split squat. This time we could add maybe a bicep curl and then stand up. So exhale, bend the back knees, bicep curl. Breathe out and in. 2 more times. And last one. Arms down by your side, just holding it here. Bring those arms out in front, circle round and down. And again, forwards and circle and down. One more time. And down. And then step all the way back. Okay, just pop your weights down for now. So remember last week we were talking about grip strength as well. So holding on to your weights or your water bottle is also a good way of strengthening up. Sorry, my rug is getting all wrapped up. Is also a good way of strengthening your grip. Okay, so take your block now, or your hedgehog. We're going to use that for also a little bit of gait, but a little bit of a balance challenge as well. So I would have it lengthways, whatever you've got, have it lengthways, because we're going to just stand on it with one foot. So you're going to start behind your block or your hedgehog, or if you have a step, anything you can just step up onto. We're going to step up, stand right in the center, and then drive the other knee up in front. So really bring that knee up close to your chest, but try not to sink down into it. So it's a lift it up, and then we're going to step back, and then you're going to switch legs, drive the other leg up. So your arms can just alternate as well. So get a little bit of movement through the old arms. So it's not just the legs. If you're not coordinated, you have to be able to do that. Just do your legs. So driving that leg up. And as you drive your leg up, can you see my toes as well? Lifting my toes. So I'm working onto that dorsiflexion. Okay, next time you step up with your left leg, just pause there. So let's see if we can just hold our balance. So relax your knee down, bring your hands onto your hip. Actually, bring your hands across your chest now. And we're going to take that foot and bring it behind you. Remember last week we did this on the towel. Is it easier on the block? Sorry, if you're on your hedgehog, you want it flat side up. I didn't mention that. Okay, hold it here. Let's see if we can just do a little rotation. So twisting your upper body very slightly to one side. Whoa, that is hard work. And then back. I'm wobbling all over the place. Twist to the other side and back. And then without falling down, can you reach around, grab hold of that back foot, take your other arm up, and then just hinge forward. Well done. Lots of wobbling. That's very hard work. So well done, everyone. Okay, we're going to go back to our marching, lifting that leg. Down, down, up, down, down, up. So again, this is really a good thing to do for your strengthening your hip flexors, ankle, all your lower leg muscles, basically. Up. You don't need any fancy equipment. You can do this on a step as well. It's a little bit more challenging the higher it is. Okay, now next time you bring that right leg up, we're going to stay there and pause. Well done. Okay, so we're going to take that leg down, bring your arms across, push your legs slightly back, you hinging forwards, just finding that balance. And then rotating gently to one side, back to the center, and round to the other side. Can we reach around behind you? Find your back foot. Oh, well done, everyone. This is great work. And then just start to hinge forward as you draw your heel towards your bottom and find that balance. Lovely. That was brilliant. Well done. Definitely give yourselves a little pat on the back for that. Give your feet and your feet a little pedal. So actually we'll do that on the block or your hedgehog. So if you take, I'll show you sideways on. If you take it widthways now and pop your balls of your feet on your block, just find your balance. It could be helpful if you've got a wall in front of you or next to you, just to put your finger on the wall or on a chair, just to balance. And then drop one heel and then drop the other heel. So really working on now mobilizing your ankle, stretching out your calves. So I can't see you, can I? But afterwards, I want you to go for a walk and just feel a little spring. Feel that you've got more movement in your feet and ankles. Feel that you've got a little spring in your step. So we could add our little opposite arm, opposite leg. Oh, having to concentrate hard not to fall off my block here. And then let's just let both heels drop down. Again, if you've got something to hold on to, it's probably a little bit easier. And then just relax. Give your feet a wiggle. Well done. Okay, let us pop our block down. We'll use that in a minute. So keep it next to you. Pick up your weights and come to the back of your mats again. We're going to come down onto the floor. We'll come onto hands and knees. You don't need your weights for the first part, but you will in a second. So just pop your weights to the side now. Spread your hands nice and wide. Spread your knees wide. And then we just go into our nice little flow. So opening up through the front of the body and the back of the body. Breathing in, breathing out. So this is just one of my favourite things to do. If your knees don't like this, by the way, you could do it standing up with your hands against a wall or a door. And you're just thinking about pushing your pelvis forward and lifting your chest up. You could try it on your block or your cushion as well. That will help your knees. And then just sink back towards your heels. You can go all the way back to child's pose if you want, or just keep your bottom lifted. And just take a couple of lovely deep breaths into your back. And then if you take one hand, we just do a thread the needle here, reach it underneath. Just pause there for a moment. Notice any tightness in the shoulders or the back. And then same on the other side. And then bring yourself up. So you're going to take your block underneath your knees now. So it's lifting your knees and lifting your feet off the floor. And you're going to have your hands in front of you. So balanced on your weights, if that's comfortable for you. And relaxing through your shoulders. I want you to imagine you've got your drinks on your lower back. Actually, let's say that on the whole of your back. So we're going to keep your back nice and stable as you just lengthen one leg away. So you notice I'm keeping both my toes off the floor. If you need more balance, put your toe that's on, put your toe down on the floor just to give you a little bit more stability. And then with your weight, you're going to, rather take it out in front of you, just take it out to the side. So you should find this pretty hard work. Find your abdominals as well. So use your tummy muscles and then come down. That shouldn't be easy. Very well, it isn't easy for me. Other side. So lengthen one leg and then the opposite arm just comes out to the side. You can do this without your weights if you're struggling to do it, if your shoulder doesn't like it, and then come down. So we're just adding that little pause in, working on that stability. So take your leg out, arm out, pause and hold, and then come back down. And again. The other thing you can do, if it's too hard to take your arm out to the side, in fact, we'll all do it on the next time, we're going to take your arm up behind you, but palm facing upwards. So just strengthening more through the back of the shoulder. It's a little bit easier because the arm is closer to your body. And then same on the other side. Hold it there. And then come all the way down. That's hard work. Okay, have a little stretch out. Again, just maybe sitting back in child's pose or puppy dog pose or whatever feels nice for your back. Okay, pop your hands, you don't need your weights, pop your hands, keep your knees on your block, hands on the floor. We're just going to a little cat stretch there just to release Any tension through the back and the shoulders, and encourage a little bit of mobility there through the spine. So breathing in, your tail goes back and up, shoulders go back, and then breathing out as you curl the other way. Let's do that one more time. And exhale. Give a little wag of your tail there. Come off your block, just pop it to the side and come down onto your tummies. You're going to take your weights behind you. By the way, I hope it does go without saying that you can do all of these without your weights. You can just use your body weight if you're struggling. Okay, so I'm going to hold my weights with my palms facing upwards, just resting the back of my hands on the floor. And then lengthen your fingers away and just your hands will just hover off the floor. So now just hovering my hands a few centimeters off the floor. Turn your forehead to face your mat. And then as you breathe out, think about just pressing your weights up towards the ceiling a little bit more, but also reaching your fingers away towards your feet. And then what will naturally happen is your upper body will start to lift up. Again, we can just hold it there for a couple of breaths before we come down. Let your head turn to the side and then just relax those shoulders. And again, so exhale, head comes back to the front, always looking down at your mat, so we're not lifting and overusing our neck muscles. Pressing your hands up towards the ceiling, tucking your chin. Maybe just give your shoulder blades a little squeeze, gentle squeeze together, and then come down. So do that 3 or 4 more times in your own time. Also, what I didn't say, don't forget to just suck your tummy button in. So imagine you've got a little ice cube underneath your belly button. So that will just help to activate your abdominal muscles and mean that your back muscles aren't doing quite so much. Oh, okay, we've got a couple more. And then on the next one, we're going to make our next one our last one. We're going to stay here and we're just going to pulse the arms up and down. So back of the arms up and down, keeping the arms nice and straight for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax, that was also hard. Well done. Okay, let's have a little kneel now. So come up onto kneeling. Again, you can use your block to give you a bit of padding, but also to give you a little bit of a balance challenge because it lifts your knees off and it's not as hard, it's not as solid as your mat or your carpet. So holding on to your weights here, just going to have your arms down by your side. So allow the weight of the weights to just drop your shoulders again away from your ears. Give them a little shrug there. And then just allow yourself to just roll from side to side. We could then just reach your hand away and turn your head towards your hand as well. You could do this with your feet down, toes tucked under, or if you want more of a balance challenge, just hovering your toes off your floor. And then your hamstrings and glutes are having to do a little bit of work as well. From here, bringing your hands together. So I'm just holding both my weights in front of me and then just going to rotate side to side. Try and keep your weights touching your breastbone so that when you rotate, you're not taking your arms round or your hands round to the side. So the rotation is coming from that upper back. Let's do one more each way and then back to the center. We're going to go into a shoulder press now. So I'm going to let my feet rest down on the floor behind me just to give me a little bit more stability. I'm going to take my elbows out to about shoulder height. And then from here, as you exhale, just pushing straight up. Inhale, just back to shoulder height, no lower. Exhale up. So you want to look, if you looked at your elbows, you'd have a nice 90-degree angle. You don't want to be too narrow with the hands. You don't want to be too wide. So 90 degrees if you can. Breathing out, press up. Inhale, down. One more time. Okay, from here, can we straighten the arms? This is hard because we're going out and we need that control. We won't do loads. 2 more. And last one. It's a bit like semaphore signals, isn't it? And then come all the way down. Just roll your shoulders. So this time you stay where you are. I'm just going to turn around so you can see the position of my back. We're going to hinge forward. So you're keeping your back nice and straight, but you're folding at your hips. And then bend your elbows. So as if you're holding your armpits, holding something underneath your armpits. And then all you're going to do is straighten your arms and turn your palms to face backwards. So breathing in, bend your elbows, breathing out, push back. So you're working on your tricep muscles, the muscles in the back of the arms and shoulders. Again, if you wanted to make it a little bit more challenging, you could lift your feet off the floor if you're on your block, or you can just keep your toes down. Let's do 2 more. And last one, pop your toes down, roll your shoulders, and then just turn your head to one side and then to the other. Turn your palms forward now. Take a breath in and then start to breathe out as your hands come up overhead. Nice and slow, palms facing forwards. Use your abdominals to control as you do this big arc. If it's too much, you can bend your elbows or you can do it without your weight. So exhale all the way up, big arc. And then control as you lower down. One more time. Breathing out. And then come all the way down. We're going to do another set of our triceps. So little hinge here, bending the elbows, and then just straightening those arms behind you. So again, thinking about the back muscles in the back of the arms, trying to keep your elbows close in by your side so they're not sticking out. We'll do that 4 more times. 3, 2, and 1. And we're going to do 1 more set of shoulder press, and then we'll give those hands and arms a rest. So from here, exhale, push up, inhale, just dropping the elbows just to shoulder height. One thing I didn't say on the last set, try to make sure you're keeping your ribs stacked over your pelvis when you do this. So if you can see yourself, make sure you're not leaning backwards. So your weights are going to pull you back. So just make sure you keep that nice straight line. Okay, last 2. And last one, and then to come down, little challenge all the way down. Well done, and rest. Okay, pop your weights down, give your hands a little rub, a shake, and then we are going to come onto your side. So you need your block now underneath, at one end of your mat. I'm going to put one hand on it and then stretch your other leg out along your mat. So you've got this lovely long line. If it's really uncomfortable for your wrist, you can come down onto here. So you've got your forearm on it and you're lying more down. So that's a bit of an easier option. Slightly harder option is to be up in this position. So your other option, you also take your weight into one weight into one hand and take your arm up towards the ceiling. So you've got this lovely long line, and then you've got a long line. So if you look up now, your hand should be right on top of your shoulder. It doesn't want to be forwards. Please don't let it go backwards, so it'll pull on your shoulder. Okay, so we can just turn your head to look up towards your hand, that's towards the ceiling, and then we can just start to do some nice circles on the ceiling. So please don't, if this is sore for your bottom arm, you can do this lying down on your side, or like I showed you, propped up on your elbow. Change direction. So make sure the circle's coming from your shoulder. So the strength is from your shoulder, Joey, all right there. And then one more time, and then just pause. Okay, have a little rest, bring your arm down by your side. So feel free to keep your arm here. You don't have to bring that top arm up. Otherwise, take it back up, and this time we're going to lift and lower your leg. So arm stays still, just going to lift and lower that leg. Your other option here, keep your arm here. So lift and lower. Breathe out to lift, in to lower. We'll do that 2 more times. Okay, we're going to go into our rotations now. So upper body's going to rotate. Exhale, rotate through. So into thread the needle, inhale up. If you want more of a challenge, lift your foot off the floor. If this is enough for you, stay with the foot down. We'll do that 1 more time. And then from here, final challenge, you're going to lift your leg, take your weight up and overhead. Please be careful if you're doing this. It's quite hard work. And then bring yourself all the way up. Roll your shoulders and then come onto your hands and knees. Before we do the other side, let's just take a little stretch. So either puppy dog, a child's pose, or a cat stretch, whatever you need to do. And then take your block and just move it over to the other side. So find your setup position, that lovely straight line all the way from your shoulders, chest, hips, knees and foot, and then taking your hand, if you're doing this version, taking your hand up towards the ceiling. So nice and relaxed, and then we're just going to circle your hand, or circle your arm, I should say, not your hand. So the movement's coming from your shoulder. I'm just going to take my jumper off. Getting warm. And the movement's coming from your shoulder, trying to draw just nice little circles. So it's really good for stabilizing your shoulder joint. Make sure you go both ways. And then we're going to keep that arm still, and we're going to lift and lower your leg. So breathing out and in, lengthen. So I almost feel like you could touch the wall in front of you. 2 more times. And then if you keep your toe down here, we're going to rotate through. Exhale, inhale. Try not to overbalance. I nearly fell on my face there. Coming up. Again, you can lift that top leg if you want to for a little bit more of a challenge. Last 2. And last 1. And then with control here, just taking that top arm overhead, lifting your top leg as well. Finding that sense of stillness and strength. And then bring yourself all the way up. Okay. Pop your weights down once again. Just come onto hands and knees. Have a little stretch out. Maybe quite a nice thing to do is just pop your forehead down on the floor, if you're not sure about this, and then just sort of rock yourself forwards and backwards from your forehead to the crown of your head. Just helps to take a little bit of tension out of those neck muscles. All right, okay, when you've had enough of that, you're going to come onto your bottoms. So we're going to do some abs. So even though we've been doing shoulder work there and other things, your abdominals will have definitely been working, but now we're just going to sort of really focus in on your abs. So take your weights. They will help you in some of these exercises, I promise you. So bring them in towards your chest. So just sit up with them in towards your chest. Nice and relax through your shoulders. If you've got bottles, you might just want to use one of your bottles for this. As you breathe out, chin to chest, you're just going to rock back just onto your sacrum there, and then sit back up. So you're just going back to the point where you feel your abdominals are doing a little bit of work. So breathing out as you go back. Breathing in as you sit up tall. And again, breathing out and then sit up. So what we can add on to that is a rotation. So as you go back, you can reach one elbow to the floor, but make sure you keep your balls in front of your chest. So that the rotation again is coming from your upper back, and you're getting that lovely activation of those obliques. We're going to do 1 more each side, and then we're going to have a little rest. Again, chuck your chin towards your chest, make sure you're not straining your neck muscles, and then relax. That's hard work, isn't it? Then have a little seat. We'll just do a little wiggle there, so allow your feet just to move forwards and back. Just get a little bit of movement through the upper body as well. All right, so this time we're going to go all the way back. I promise your weights will help you with this one. So nice straight legs, sit up nice and tall, reach your arms out in front of you. As you breathe out, chin to chest, please, if you need to use your arms to support you, come down using your hands. And then float your arms up towards the ceiling. So breathing in here, as you breathe out, I want you to imagine you're going to push your weights up to the wall, to the ceiling, and then to the wall in front of you. And then keep on going. Imagine now you're passing your weights over your feet, and abracadabra, you should find that you can come up really nicely, smoothly up to sitting. So you can go down again. If it still doesn't work for you, and it does happen, that it's actually better with heavier weights. So the heavier your weights are, conversely, the easier it is to come up. So it just gives you that little counterbalance. So if you still can't come up, please don't worry. Just do what you can. So maybe you could just work on the first part of the movement. So you're just thinking about hands up to ceiling, hands to wall, and then coming back down. The most important thing is to nod your chin towards your chest so that you're not doing all the work with your neck muscles. So tuck your chin, round up, and then back down. So let's just do a couple more of whichever version that you are doing. I can see quite a lot of you going up and down. Some of you I can't see, I can still just see your ceiling, so I have no idea what's going on. But hopefully you are doing something. And then you're going to make this your last one. We're going to come all the way down. So if you bend your knees now, and then notice your shoulder blades coming into touch with the floor. So your hands are still up towards the ceiling. We're going to take one arm in front of you and one arm overhead. Be very careful, please, with the arm that's going overhead. You may not go all the way to the floor, and then come back up and then switch. So breathing out and then breathing in. So I would breathe out as you take your arms away from your body, and breathe in as you come back. And what we're trying to work on is not just your arms, but I want your abdominals to support you. So gently press your ribs into the mat. Gently press your lower back in. So you don't want to tilt your pelvis, but just have that feeling of imprinting slightly. I mean, it depends on your lower back. My lower back is not on the floor, but it's not arching away. So it depends on the shape of your spine. As long as you're not really arching your back when you do this, you feel a connection through the back of your rib cage. Let's just do one more. And then we're going to float one leg into tabletop and then the second leg into tabletop. Again, if that doesn't work for you, please feel free to keep one foot on the floor. So now we're going to go opposite. So you take your right leg out in front of you, left arm overhead, right arm goes down, and then come back up. So exhale, lower. If it's too much with the weights, please just do this without your weights. So if you feel your ribs coming up and your lower back no longer has that connection to the floor, then keep one foot down or do it without your weights. Also remember your breathing. So exhale to lengthen away. That's the hardest part. Inhale as you come back in. So we want to always try and breathe out on the harder part of the movement. Let's do one more each leg if you can, otherwise just have a break now. And last time, pop your weights down by your side, just hug your knees into your chest and give your knees a little hug. You can even hug your forehead in there if you want to as well. Well done. Okay, so take your blocks now and lift your bottom up and then place your, like we did with the towel last week, just going to place your back of your pelvis on your block or on your hedgehog, just to give you a little bit of lift there through your lower back. And then bring your legs back into tabletop. You can do this with or without your weights, so don't mind. Relax your shoulders down. And as you breathe in now, we're going to take your right leg out to the side and your opposite arm, left arm, and then come back together. So working on opposites again. And then this time, right arm and left leg. The leg that's not moving, can you try and keep it really still? So imagine that you've got a cup of tea balanced on top of that knee. So you don't want to spill it. Good. So working here on your obliques. Again, feel free to do this without your weights. And again. Okay, back to the center. Just bring your arms down. Give your hands a little breather. Hug your knees into your chest. This time arms are going to stay out by your sides. If you've got your weights, I would turn your palms up. And then from here, you're going to exhale, lengthen your legs away. As you do that, sweep your arms up towards the ceiling. And then as you bend your knees, lower your arms back down. So exhale, press legs away, arms go up. Inhale to come down. Breathing out. Remember, you could do this with one foot on the floor. You don't have to have both legs up. We'll do two more. And last one, legs stay out. Bring your arms up. And this time, carefully take your arms over your head. They may not go all the way to the floor. Hold it here. And then bring those arms back down by your side. Hover your arms off the floor. We're going to scissor your legs. One goes down, one goes up. And switch. Please do this with bent knees if you need to. Please also do it with one foot on the floor if you need to. Okay, I'm showing you the hardest version. Breathe out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pop your weights down or hug those knees in. Pop your bottom down and take your block away. And rest. Turn your head to one side. and then all the way to the other side. And just do that a few times. And then maybe we could also just slide the shoulders up and down a few times. They've been working hard today, haven't they? All right, a couple more things with the weights, and then we will do some nice stretches. So we're going to do chest press here. The elbows need to be out by your side, resting on your mats or your carpet with your about level with your shoulders, and then your weights or your hands just facing up towards the ceiling. As you breathe out, just pushing your arms nice and straight, and then as you breathe in, bringing those arms back down by your side. So exhale, press, inhale, lower. If you have heavier weights, if you've got a choice of weights, you could probably use heavier weights for this one, because we're, body supported on the ground, and we're much stronger in this push type movement than we are when we take our arms over our heads. Let's do 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Hold it there. And then we're just going to take your left arm out to the side, turn your palm up and back up, and then right arm. I can't go all the way out because I've got a nice sofa there. Again, your option to make this slightly easier is just to bend that elbow. So that's what I will do to this side. So rather than a straight arm, you're bending your elbow. Good, let's do 1 more each side. And then you're going to let those arms just drop. So use your weights to help open you up now. So let your arms drop and hands drop all the way to the floor. And once again, just rotate your head to the right and the left. Just lengthening out through the back of your neck there. And then give those shoulders a little wiggle. And maybe you could even just take your knees side to side as well. How are we doing? Couple more times. And then coming back to the center. All right, ladies and gents, pop your weights down. Just going to give our hands a little massage. So if you take your, I don't know about you, but my hands are sore after holding onto those weights. So take your fingers and interlink your fingers, and then just pressing your hands up towards the ceiling. So you're stretching out through the palm of your hand. So rather than those fingers being clenched, we're doing the opposite, stretching out through the palm of your hand, stretching out through the back of the wrists. And then allow your arms to just come overhead. Keep interlinking your fingers if that's comfortable for you. You'll feel quite a stretch possibly underneath your shoulders, armpits. Just be a bit careful if you're very mobile. Don't keep stretching and your fingers and your arms. And then come back up. And then you're just going to take your thumb into the palm of your hand here. Just use your thumb just to draw some little circles in the palm of your hand. And then along the fingers and thumb into this, it's called your thenar eminence here in your thumb. And let's do the same on the other side. As anybody, whenever I don't really have manicure. If you see my nails, they're definitely not manicured. But whenever I've had like a manicure, they do a hand massage. It looks so nice. And then just clench and release your fingers a few times. We're going to have a nice full body stretch now. So lengthen your legs away, lengthen your arms overhead. Your abdominals have done quite a lot today. So this is lovely pencil stretch, and then we could just stretch either right arm and right leg away, or just keep your hands still and just shuffle your pelvis. So stretching through your legs, pushing through your right leg and your left leg. So getting this movement and stretch down the side of your body. Take yourself into a little star shape now. Just for a moment, just let yourself go. So relax through your shoulders. And then again, we'll just let that head rotate really super gently from one side to the other. Let your toes, just I was holding on to my feet there, so let your toes relax as well. And then coming back to the center, so you can keep your arms out in this position, or you can bring them by your side. You're going to bring your knees together, your feet together, and your knees out wide. So just opening out through the inner thighs. We're then going to think about pressing the soles of the feet together and lifting your bottom off the floor as you push and open your knees out to the sides. So it's like a bridge, but with this with our legs in this froggy position. And then try and roll down. So rather than just coming straight down, we're getting a little bit of movement, mobility through the spine. And again, So pressing up, feet together, knees apart, and rolling down. So do that a few more times in your own time. Take your time with it. This is called a 10-month bridge. I have no idea why. If anybody knows why, then please let me know. And we'll make this our last one. And this time when your sacrum comes down, just allow your knees to roll from one side to the other. And then start to take your feet, walk them wide, walk your knees wide now as you do your little tick-tocky movement with your legs. The next time your legs come to one side, just pause there. Allow that bottom knee to drop down towards the floor. You could even take your top leg there and just cross it across. So it's a bit of a stronger stretch. If that's too strong, then just keep your legs uncrossed. Let's do that stretch on the other side. So let your knees roll to the other side. Again, if you wanted to, you could take your bottom foot over the top. But you're going to keep that ankle crossed across that leg now, because we're going to come into a glute stretch on that side. So lying on your back now, release your arms by your side, and then you're just going to hug your knee into your chest. So you've got this little figure of four position. Your bottom foot is just nice and relaxed. So you don't need to jam that leg in. You can just relax that leg down and gently hug your knee into your chest. So you could have a rock side to side. It's quite a nice way to just release any tension that you might have in your lower back. And then we're going to sweep your hand to the back of your thigh now. We're going to stretch out through your calves and hamstrings. So hand to the back of the thigh, straighten out your other leg along the floor. We're just going to flex and point that foot. So back to that ankle mobility. Hopefully you feel you've got a little bit more movement in your ankles than maybe you normally would, or certainly did at the beginning of the class. And then just keep your ankle nice and relaxed and draw your leg in towards you. So just stretching out through your hamstrings. So be careful when you do your hamstring stretch. That's why I would say to straighten your other leg out. If your other leg was bent, it's quite easy to tilt your pelvis, and then you think, oh look, I can get my leg closer towards me. And actually you're not. It's only because you're tilting your pelvis. So with your leg straight, then it keeps your pelvis more stiff. All right, just bend that knee, hug it into your chest, and then we'll do the glute stretch and the hamstring stretch on the other side. So crossing now your opposite ankle over the knee, hugging that knee in towards you. An option here to have a little rock side to side if you wanted to. And then when you're ready, stretch your leg out along the floor and the other leg up towards the ceiling. And we go for that little flex and point there of the foot. And then we'll work on the hamstring. So nice straight leg. Try and relax your shoulders down. So I like to hold rather behind my knee. I'm not particularly flexible. So I just hold the back of my thigh. If you're more flexible, feel free to hold a little bit higher up. But I like to let my head and shoulders just rest on the floor, so I'm not holding on to any stress through there. All right, let's hug both knees in. So take your knees wide, just have a little rock side to side. Again, nice way to release off any tension in your back. And then we can hold on to both feet if that's available to you. If it's not, just find one. Okay, again, make sure your head stays down on your mat. Open your knees wide. And again, if you want to have a little rock side to side, can be quite intense in your lower back and hips. So please just take it easy. Take some nice deep breaths. You can work on just opening out those legs a little bit more if you can. And then when you're ready, just bring your feet back down. Just allow yourself to have a little wiggle, have a little stretch. Turning onto your side, coming all the way around back on to your hands and knees. Just tucking those toes under. We're going to go into a little cat stretch here. We've done a few today, but this time we're just going to slow it down. So we're breathing in, sending your sit bones long behind you, dropping your chest down, and just maybe jotting your chin forward a little bit. And then as you breathe out, nodding your chin towards your chest, separating the shoulder blades. If you had a tail, you'd be tucking your tail between your legs here. Let's just do that once more. So inhale, And a nice big exhale. Okay. We're going to finish in sitting today. So if you take hold of your block and have a little seat on your block. I'm sorry, obviously I've run over because we didn't start on time. So hopefully those of you who are working can stay for a few more minutes. And just holding on to your thighs. These are your shins here. Sit up nice and tall. And then just find somewhere that you can support yourself. So you don't want to be too tall, but you don't want to be too slumped. And just bring your fingertips by your side. So if you create some space again between your ear and your shoulder, just gently pressing your fingertips into your mat. So this might be enough of a stretch for you. Certainly feels like quite a stretch for me, maybe through my abs and also down here through my shoulders. If you want to have more of a stretch, just simply take one ear and let it drop to the side. So you don't want to collapse into it. Let it just think about just moving slowly over to the side. So keeping your fingers touching the floor and then coming back up and doing the same to the other side. And just using your breath and then bringing your head back to the center. Give your shoulders a little roll. And then we're going to give you you've done a lot of work with your shoulders today. So just use your hands and just cup your hands and squeeze the muscles in your arms, around the back of your arms, around the back of your shoulders as well. Don't panic tomorrow if your shoulders and neck feel a little, or muscles in the shoulders and neck feel a little bit sore. It will just be related to you exercising them and building that strength. Do the same on the other side. And it should relieve in a day or so. And then just, squeeze and release. And if they do feel tight or stiff, you can give yourself a little massage or find somebody who might do that for you. Nice warm bath as well, or shower directed on the back of that area will also help. All right, stretch those legs out in front of you. Take a lovely big breath in. Reach your fingers up towards the ceiling and then exhale and relax. Do that one more time. Big breath in and exhale. Well done. Have a little shake. You can pummel your legs as well if you want to. They've done quite a lot of work today. Thank you very much for joining me. Sorry about the technical glitches at the beginning. So we've got 2 more weeks, I think. Yes, 2 more weeks, and then it's Easter. I think some of you finished before then, but so yes, hopefully you'll join us. If not, I'll send you the recording. All right. How did those of you who did the class last week, the towel one? How did you like it? Did you not like it? How were you the next day?
Yeah, it was good.